With that being said, my parents met at NEO in the 60s. My father came here from Florida on a football and track scholarship. My mother was raised in Afton. Her father died when she was 2 weeks old in the Philippines in World War II. But she knows 1,000 people from Afton and growing up in the area. Then my father came back after his military service, and he was a high school principal in Grove in the 70s in Delaware County. He was a high school principal in Concord in Delaware County. He was a superintendent of Oaks Mission schools, Indian Mission in Delaware County, and he was superintendent at Afton schools in Ottawa County, the other half of the 13th Judicial District. The Delaware County Courthouse has a beautiful Veterans Memorial in front of it. It's fit for St. Louis or Tulsa, just really gorgeous Veterans Memorial. When you walk out the doors, the front doors of the courthouse, the first row of names that you come to is my name, both my brothers' names, Dean Bridges' name, who was closer to me than actually my kid brother Reb, because Reb's 18 years younger than me, and my father's name, and my grandfather's name, one that died in the Philippines, and his grandfather, who was a cavalryman in the war. Afterwards, he came to Afton Territory and pioneered it. Now, and all these are Kellys, the grandfather Kelly, and Robert Kelly, and John Duke Kelly. John Duke's Kelly brother came over to Delaware District in the 1880s. He's the ancestor of Clyde Kelly and Earl Kelly and Paul Duke Kelly, all those guys, the Delaware County Kellys. And Earl Kelly, I remember, he was my elementary, when my father was the high school principal, he was the elementary school principal. I went to Grove with second and third grade with Arowana Bucket and Mikey Davenport, who posted my bond for me after the arrest, and Stevie Suttles, who was the master of the Grove Lodge, which I joined when I got back. My father joined in the 70s. Both my brothers have been Masons for, I think Lance joined in the 90s, and Reb did in 10 or 15 years ago. Also, I belong to the Disabled American Veterans, life member in Grove. Belong to the American Legion and J, Delaware County Historical Association. I'm a genealogist. My brother Lance is a lawyer now. He's in the JAG Corps, he's selective duty. He started off in the 45th Infantry Division as enlisted private, and he was airborne. All three of us brothers were airborne. He was air assault, French commando, expert medic, all that stuff. Not your typical lawyer at all in the Army. Lance has literally gotten his hands bloody from carrying soldiers in war. He has 41 months in a combat zone. And you should have heard this little girl that's trying to prosecute me, second generation American, who was raised in Boston, explained to my brother about bullets and wooden wounds and stuff like that. I'll go into that in another video. He did that in our last meeting. Reb, like I said, I was 18 when he was born. When I got out of the Army, I joined, I was in the Special Forces unit in Tulsa when there were reserves, and they shut down, went to the National Guard. And I went to, I joined the 45th Infantry Division, or Brigade rather, under Dean. He was a platoon sergeant. And I was in the 45th Infantry with him at Claremore when he was platoon sergeant there. Well, 20 years later or so, whatever it was, my kid brother, Reb, he joined, and I think he was 23 years old or 20-year-old staff sergeant in Iraq. He went to Dean to Iraq as a part of the General's Protective Service Detachment, the commanding general. So Dean wound up being the highest ranking sergeant in the 45th Brigade combat team. By team, that's thousands and thousands of soldiers under the commanding general. Okay, he's an important guy. You wouldn't know that talking to Dean. He's very humble, and I've had to explain to people just what he did in the Army. But my grandfather died in the Philippines, was a top turret gunner, and a D-25 that went down in the ocean. So that's those guys.